Okay, so now we have time for arguably the most advanced Olympic lift movement there is, which is the snatch. So we're gonna start from the high hang, the same as the clean. We're gonna get the bar up into the hip, and we're gonna learn how to take the bar from our hip over our head in one go. So, grab the bar for us. We're gonna hold the bar in our hip crease. So you've got these bones across the front of your hips here, and we want the bar to sort of sit across the front of those. Depending on how long your arms are is gonna depend on where you put your thumbs. So most people will be just outside that second knurling. For Harry, just outside there. If you've got quite long arms or poor mobility, you might have to go super wide to get the same response. We're gonna do the same we did with the clean and really activate and focus on activating those lats to pull the bar in close to our body. We go from the high hang because it's easiest to learn, and it's the less moving parts means we can get more effective at getting the hips moving and lifting the bar overhead. So first off, we're gonna go through a muscle snatch, and that's using our muscles to get the bar over our head. So let's just lift the bar with high elbows, as high as we can into that scarecrow position, and then we roll the bar overhead. So we'll go through one more rep. So lats are active, high elbows, and then push the bar, hold it there. We can see the ears come through the shoulders. We're fully extended through the midline, and that's where we finish off that rep overhead. So bring the bar back down. We can tell that's gonna be quite hard to do if we added weight, so we need to get effective at using our most powerful muscle, which is our hips. So we're gonna take a slight dip position. We're gonna pretend like our back's up against a brick wall because we wanna have a vertical torso, and we wanna slightly let our armpits travel just in front of the bar. So lean forward, drive your bum back. You can see from here, he's got all that kinetic potential through his hamstrings now. So he's come into that vertical shin position. His armpits are above the bar. The bar stays attached to the hips because we wanna keep the lats active. From here, we can triple extend. So ankles, knees, and hips, and drive that bar up so that we can jump under the bar and make it easier to catch. So let's go through one power snatch. You can see where he receives the bar, the bum goes back, the bar's above his head, and he can use his legs to stand up. So essentially, we're trying to use our hips to get the bar as high as we can, and then we're trying to use our body to jump under the bar as fast as we can so we don't have to lift the bar using just our muscles. We're using our body to fight gravity here. So we'll go through one more rep. Armpits over the bar, kinetic potential in the hips, jump, triple extend, catch in that receive position. So work through about 5 to 10 reps of those with a light bar. Make sure you try and pause in the hardest position so that you know that you own that position, and then you'll start to get better a lot faster. So the extension of that would be dropping under the bar into a full squat snatch. So essentially it's the same movement, you're doing exactly the same thing, except as your bar is traveling up, you don't have to pull it as high because you're now gonna jump under the bar. So when you actually get good at this movement, this should be the most effective way to get more weight from the hips over your head in one go by dropping under the bar faster. So just show us one good squat snatch, receiving that bar in the overhead squat essentially, as opposed to a quarter of a squat. We'll use them simultaneously depending on what outcome or adaptation we want to get. So the most common faults we see with the snatch, the first one we're going to see is hitting the bar too low off the hips by not engaging the lats. So you can see when he lets go of his lats, he rolls forward and the arms hang down a little bit lower, so he's actually bouncing the bar off the thigh. So if we're looking at the clean, the bar should be on the thigh. When we're looking at the snatch, the bar should be coming off the top of the hips based on where your shoulders are. So roll those shoulders back, keep the lats active, make sure we pull the bar into the hip pocket, which is going to become more essential when we start going from the hang and the floor. The second common fault we see is allowing that bar to come too far away from the midline and not coming past our nipples or our chin. So show us a really bad rep, swing it out. So we'll see beginners do that, swing the bar away. It's actually quite dangerous and obviously very ineffective. The reason why it's dangerous is because you've now got all this velocity swinging around and you're trying to catch it using the small rotator cuff muscles of your shoulder. It's also not effective because, like anything, the shortest distance is the most effective, so we want to try and keep the bar as close to our body as we can so we can move our body around and jump under the bar.